All right, so I'll start with you. Howdy, thank you guys for talking to me. Just saw an amazing Naruto cosplay going on, and Gaara's team getting back together for a cosplay thing is just beautiful to me. So first question: why this cosplay, and why this person today? What besides completing the set, like, what made you pick this character?
Well, honestly, it was to complete the set. They did these characters before, and they needed that extra person, and I was like, groups are fun.
Yeah.
So that's always nice.
Cool. Why did you think this?
We did this costume 3 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago, and originally it's his favorite character is Gaara. Mine was Tamari, so when we started getting together, we were like, why not? Tamari's a strong character, and he loves Gaara, so it was just a matter of time before we did a character we loved, and so we did it.
Cool. So what drives you, what about Gaara does it for you that you want to become him?
I love the evil demon and then the transformation. He's a very in-depth character, especially in that world. And a lot of people kind of don't really grasp that, especially at first. And I don't know, I fell in love with the character. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, so sounds like you guys been doing this a little bit together. What was your first cosplay experience like? And then what drew you into cosplay?
Our first one was me and her back in, 2009? 2010. We were Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, and I'm an awkward person normally, but when I get into that costume, it's like confidence, so it's like Pamela Isley and then Poison Ivy, and she's bubbly no matter what. So we did those costumes, and they were like, your dad made yours, and mine was like a leotard that we glued leaves to. But like, we got so many pictures. We met up with one of my friends dressed as Robin, and it was an amazing experience.
Thought she was so similar story, like so.
Yeah, we did it in 2010. We just really connected with the characters, and our friendship was basically those characters. So it was something I've always wanted to do, cosplay and go to conventions, and I finally found a friend that was like, sure. So my dad made my Harley Quinn suit in a night, and we were in her basement gluing leaves, and we ended up being on like the New York news, and it was just, it just developed into this huge thing that we are now, and it's just, we love it. I wouldn't change it, I really wouldn't.
So were you both nervous at all? Like, how did you deal with it?
Oh yeah, we stayed at my brother's apartment in Brooklyn, and walking down the street to the subway dressed in a leotard and a skin-tight suit, seeing people just kind of staring at us, we were just kind of like walking down the street. So it was nerve-wracking at first, but once we got into the convention, it was so much fun.
Awesome. So, and it's crazy to me because you also had your dad help out. It's always interesting to me when families come together and support this hobby. So. All right, so tell me about your first time cosplaying and how did it feel for you?
My first time was it was the three of us. We had a Joker to the list. And I'm not a huge fan of the Joker, and I'm a little controversial right now. I'm not a huge fan of it. It was weird. I forgot I was in full white makeup. And that was the year we got pulled over.
Yeah, that was the year.
I forgot.
That's a story.
Okay, do you mind sharing said story if it doesn't get you in any legal troubles? Or we can skip the story.
No, it's funny.
We were driving down the Palisades Parkway. I was the Joker, I was driving. Prison jumpsuit, full makeup, everything. We had a Nightwing in the passenger seat, Harley, Ivy, Catwoman, and a Penguin. Well, we got pulled over. I forgot my driver's license at the hotel.
The state trooper?
He had me get out of the truck, and I'm standing behind it, prison jumpsuit, hands on the... I could only imagine what people were thinking. That was like one of the worst moments I've ever had in costume, but one of the best.
It's so funny.
I'm assuming the cop let you guys off afterward. No? Oh. All right.
Nightwing didn't get a ticket. Nightwing didn't. Every villain got a ticket. I got 2.
Leader of the villains? 2 tickets.
You know, I kind of would bring that to the lawyer, like the judge. Like, wait a minite, how come one guy didn't get a ticket but everyone else did?
A little prejudice here, you know.
Oh, that's
clearly.
so messed up. All right, so besides that fiasco, once you actually were able to get to said con, how was it for you?
It was great. Comic-Con was the first one I dressed up for. So it was a little overwhelming, but like I said, I kind of forgot I was in character. Like, don't ask me how. But it was nice. Nothing really crazy happened though once we were there. It was actually, that was a boring year.
All right.
But
so you all seem to be like anime fans or like comic fans and stuff. What was the first anime you've ever watched that drew you into it?
First anime that really drew me in? I would have to say Full Metal Alchemist, because that just has the whole plot, the twists, the characters that come back. I even have the Flamel Cross tattoo behind my ear. Like, it's my absolute favorite. It just has the characterization, you laugh, you cry, you get surprised every so often, so.
What about you?
Mine is Sailor Moon. I remember just being a little girl and just watching it and just wanting to be Usagi so badly. And even as a kid, I connected to her character. She's like clumsy and a crybaby, but I love her. And it just really just opened up that door to anime that my mom wished never happened.
hands down, Inuyasha. That was a classic for me. I was obsessed. Don't argue me with the facts. I knew where it was in the manga. I knew what manga, what chapter, what page. I was absolutely obsessed.
All right, so one question I always ask is, what's your dream cosplay? But then, since you guys are a group, what's your dream? So I want you to tell me what your dream cosplay is, and then what your dream group cosplay is. All right?
I think I know what yours is. I know for you it was.
All right. Let's start off with what's your dream? It doesn't have to be anime or manga. It could be like movies, Transformers, or anything. But like, what's your dream costume? No matter the money, the time, or anything else.
No matter the money or time? I don't know. I don't know what dream. I know that for group, we're actually planning Full Metal Alchemist for at one point. So my boyfriend and I would be Riza and Roy, and he wants to make a full Alphonse suit for it.
Okay.
And we have, yeah. You would be Mai, right? Or May? Or yeah, Ed, whichever one. But I don't know for what individual one I would want to do. There's so many. I can't really. I guess like I've been obsessed with Tifa for Final Fantasy VII for a while. That would be either one, game or Advent Children.
All right.
For group, hands down, it's Sailor Moon again, and we actually are again planning that, so that's exciting.
Mars, Venus, which dress are you putting on?
He wants to do Mars.
I'm getting told I have to be a tuxedo match.
I
wanted a skirt though.
You can skirt. You can skirt. All right.
But individual, like my dream cosplay, it's lame, but the first one I did was my dream, and it was Harley Quinn, the original version. Original Harley.
You need to point it out.
Original, 3-diamond Harley. And I did her, and that was a dream, and I would just love to do her again, just better, now that I've improved with, quality and stuff like that, and I do make it myself now, so I just like to do her again, and just have the time and effort just to go into that, but yeah.
All right. Besides the dress and the skirt, what would be your dream cosplay?
Goes back to Inuyasha. I want to do a Shishomaru costume, but I want to do it right. I have yet to see one that's handmade, like to the. Yes. I'm terrified to even contemplate starting it.
But if it's not, the dream is a Shishomaru.
Exactly.
All right, and then group cosplay.
I want to do an Inuyasha one. It sounds bad because that's what I keep saying, but that's the one I really want to do. And her boyfriend already did Sango Moroku, so they have that. She's going to be my Kaguya, and I want to do Shishomaru. If not, an Inuyasha and Kagome, but...
Okay, so last question. Someone is looking over here thinking you guys are awesome for doing this, but they're nervous. What would you tell a nervous person who wants to get into cosplay, but doesn't really have the nerve yet, but what would you say to that person?
Do what you want. That's basically it. Just if you want to do it, then do it. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Don't let anyone try to put you down. If you really love it and you really want to do it, then just do it.
Same what she said, YOLO, just dive in and just do it. You know, who cares if you're not the right body shape for the character, if you buy your costume, if you're not the right race for just do it. It doesn't matter. Cosplay is about fun at the end of the, we're all a bunch of losers dressing up as characters. We're like in our mid-20s and we're playing dress up, and that's what we love to do, so just go ahead and do it. It's fun. And the community is, for the most part, like a really great community. We've made so many friends in the cosplay community just by doing this. So just YOLO do it. Just do it.
They pretty much said it all. Go for it. It's not as hard as you think to get started. Just start small if you're afraid of what people are going to think on the train, because that's a pretty awkward experience.
It's the best. Or Walmart.
That's the best worst part.
Yeah, it's a pretty awkward experience. Start small, build your way up. You'll get there.
You know, you touched on something like, oh, the losers thing, but I've noticed in my coverage of all these cons, same thing goes with video gaming. Like being a nerd, being an anime fan, at first people seem to have like this negative connotation to it, and a lot of people seem to like love these conventions and love cosplaying things because it's like I'm sharing my little shame almost. But then you come here and you meet so many people, and let's face it, this is a few billion-dollar industry too. So I almost feel like in a few years, people are going to stop referring to it as like losers per se. Just even I jokingly stuff. It's like, you know, what is nerd anymore? Rich people who make Facebook. What's geek anymore? People who do multi-million-dollar movie deals.
Being nerdy
it's
now,
changed. It's normal.
It's being nerdy's become a cool thing now. Like it used to be like, oh, look at this, a loser, but now it's like, oh, you're into comic books? That's so cool. So am I. You don't have to hide.
If I could tell one quick con story. We were dressed as this in Atlantic City and walking down the street. Normally, every day, I'm a 6th grade English teacher, and I actually bumped into one of my students on the street in Atlantic City and said hi, hoped that I didn't make a bad impression on their parents. But then the next day, like, we were back in the classroom, and the kids were like, it was more of a nice, respectful relationship between me and the students because they know I'm a nerd and a geek, so I kind of like the fact that they can feel more themselves knowing that I'm true to myself.
That's great. And you know, the best part is, like, I've noticed at these cons, I know people who come to these things and dress up who are very well-to-do. I know some who are just scraping by. I know some who are, like, you know, barely legal, showing up with their mom's help. And I also know some who are just like, you know, the gray-haired Yoshi guy because he's gray-haired, bald, and it works. So it's to me, it's beautiful that like in a few years this is going to be so normal that hopefully that little I'm a part of this because it's my little shame isn't because of that, but it's more along the lines of like we share this cool bond.
Yeah.
Like outright awesome.
It's great to meet people who are as passionate about the same things you are.
Yeah.
And I don't know anywhere else that I can. I don't know anywhere else that I can meet someone as passionate about an anime or a comic book or a video game as here.
Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Have a great time.